One month, you're plucked from a New Jersey high school auditorium by Steven Spielberg himself, hailed as the next Maria of West Side Story. And the very next, you're trending worldwide as Hollywood's villain. Rachel Zegler's arc felt cast in gold. A viral audition clip here, a Golden Globe there, a Disney crown shimmering on the horizon. Yet somewhere between the bright-eyed interviews and a $250 million Snow White remake, the fairy tale carriage jackknifed off the red carpet. How does Spielberg's newest protégée morph almost overnight into the internet's favorite punchline? Buckle up. This ride veers from backstage whispers to billion-view memes, and every turn is sharper than the last. Rachel's story begins in 2018 with a cell phone recording, a 16-year-old belting "I Feel Pretty" on a silent stage, the fluorescent work lights making her look like the lone survivor of a drama club apocalypse. The clip hit Twitter, then Spielberg's casting inbox, and within weeks, she was flown to New York for a hush-hush callback. 30,000 hopefuls had already been seen, yet Spielberg stopped the search. By late 2019, trade papers crowned her the Wonder Kid, and insiders whispered she hit high C's like she'd swallowed a church bell. During press junkets, she seemed genuinely thunderstruck, clutching her cheeks as though trying to keep the dream from slipping out through her dimples. Teachers back home framed her acceptance letters. Spielberg himself joked that she still finished her homework between takes. Viewers everywhere saw the next Audrey Hepburn blooming on their screens, but the first hairline cracks were already forming, long before anyone outside the soundstage knew to listen. Behind the curtain, crew members were quietly trading stories. What began as a newcomer's enthusiasm, "Could we shoot that dance again? I can spin cleaner," morphed into marathon debates over costume seams, lens lengths, even the color temperature of key lights. An anonymous grip later recalled resetting a Steadicam 5 times, while Rachel argued that a camera angle stole Maria's agency. Some dismissed it as artistic zeal, others muttered the word disruptive. The juiciest rumor, never verified, forever viral, claimed Spielberg privately called her horrible to work with. He never denied it, and in Hollywood, silence can clang louder than a slammed door. Commentators freeze-framed red carpet footage, searching Spielberg's smile for microscopic tension lines, while TikTok sleuths spliced every lukewarm compliment he'd ever uttered into ominous montages. Whether the legend really winced or not, the idea that he might was enough to plant doubt in producer boardrooms. And Disney was about to hand her the most expensive glass coffin in Hollywood history. In June 2022, Rachel snagged the title role in Disney's live-action Snow White, a film that ballooned past $250 million before marketing dollars even joined the party. Execs envisioned another Beauty and the Beast, nostalgia gold with a modern spin, but the project hit turbulence on takeoff. Peter Dinklage blasted the studio for romanticizing dwarf tropes, so Disney reimagined the Seven as magical beings, hoping to sidestep offense and win progressives. Traditionalists cried sacrilege. Culture war pundits pre-lit their torches. On set, rumors swirled that Rachel and co-star Gal Gadot clashed over scene blocking, though studio reps kept lips zip-tied. Still, it wasn't the set leaks that detonated the internet. The spark came from a single press junket soundbite. Still, the real uproar wouldn't come from the set. It would explode from a single press junket soundbite. During an August 2023 video interview, Rachel smirked and called the 1937 prince a stalker, adding she'd never dreamed of playing a princess who waits for a random guy's smooch to save her life. The clip rocketed across TikTok, edited, memed, and stitched into duet rants within hours. Are Not My Snow White trended for 3 straight days. Commentary channels pumped out 10-minute Disney woke fail essays faster than you could refresh the algorithm. Political factions pounced. One side hailed her candor, the other labeled her a smug revisionist ruining childhoods. Disney's PR team tried to steer the talking points back to empowerment, but the internet smelled fresh blood. Even her old tweets, supporting immigrant rights, joking about geriatric politicians, were dredged up as proof she was too activist for family IP. Tweets sting, but box office numbers can bleed. Fast forward to March 2025. Snow White waddled out of its opening weekend with $42.2 million domestic, respectable for a mid-tier rom-com, catastrophic for a $250 million princess flick. By weekend 6, the global cume scratched $200 million, locking in a projected loss north of $115 million once marketing was tallied. Disney bean counters convened emergency calls. Rival studios quietly shaved budgets on their own remakes. Then a Minecraft movie swung a pixelated pickaxe through Disney's dignity, chalking up a record-smashing $301 million global debut. Snow White plummeted from theater counts, dropping out of the domestic top 10 in week 5. Meme culture feasted, side-by-side posters read, blocky Steve 1, Princess 0. Rachel still hadn't issued a mea culpa. Instead, she floated the idea that Disney's marketing got drowned under the cubes, instant meme fodder. Commentators clipped the line next to her earlier "Stalker Prince" quip, adding retro 8-bit explosions for comedic sting. Hollywood forgives a flop, if you own it. Rachel chose another path. As the weeks of bad press piled up, Rachel's team reportedly declined certain talk show slots, fueling the narrative that she was ducking accountability. Godot, sensing the storm, executed a polished PR pivot, philanthropic Instagram posts, classy silence on the controversy, and a well-timed Dior campaign. Industry insiders contrasted the two actresses at gala events, Godot gliding from photocall to photocall, Rachel flanked by handlers who whisked her past every microphone. Headlines insinuated diva behavior. One gossip column claimed she called Godot a professional pageant queen under her breath at the Oscars. TikTok lip readers slowed the footage to 0.25x, convinced they'd cracked her whispered insult. True or not, the clip racked up 8 million views overnight and cemented the arrogant label into pop culture concrete. Started crunching Risk like popcorn, and one ominous word echoed through the studio halls: blacklist. Spielberg maintained monastic silence. For decades, he'd swooped in to defend talent. Think Drew Barrymore posty Christian Bale's early career wobbles. But when Rachel stumbled, he offered no shoulder. Producers noticed. According to one agency leak, a major streaming service pulled her from a shortlist after consulting unnamed references, corporate shorthand for "we called Spielberg's people." Broadway even turned cold. Despite strong early buzz, her modern Romeo and Juliet revival was blanked by the 2025 Tony nominations, missing every major category. Trade columns described the omission as the snub that launched 1,000 think pieces. Agents whispered that top studios quietly scrubbed her from franchise wish lists. One exec summed it up: if Spielberg regretted the risk, why should we bankroll it? Yet even in exile, one unlikely script flickered with the promise of redemption. On April 30th, 2025, indie director Julia von Heinz announced She Gets It From Me, a $6 million dramedy starring Marisa Tomei and, yes, Rachel Zegler as a grief-stricken daughter of an ex-punk rocker. The film's Berlin funding shielded it from Hollywood politics. Its modest scale let it fly under the hashtag radar. Pundits debated whether the move showed humility or desperation, but festival programmers perked up. Tomei's prestige plus von Heinz's art house cred could, if Rachel turned in a raw, vulnerable performance, paint her as a reborn artist rather than a franchise liability. Some compared it to Robert Downey Jr.'s Kiss Kiss Bang Bang pivot after his darkest A-list days. Others cited Kristen Stewart's Clouds of Sils Maria reinvention post-Twilight. Either way, for the first time in months, Rachel's name appeared in news feeds without a sidecar of memes. Which fate will the credits roll on? A phoenix rising or ashes left to cool? From viral soprano to box office cautionary tale, Rachel Zegler's saga shows how fame mutates at algorithmic speed. A single offhand joke can detonate a $250 million investment. One director's silence can speak louder than a press release. Yet Hollywood's memory is strangely elastic. Studios love a good redemption arc almost as much as they love a public meltdown. If Rachel channels her Broadway stamina into indie nuance and swallows a dose of humble pie, she might waltz back into Oscar chatter within 3 years. Or she could vanish into the credits crawl of cautionary tale documentaries, filed between historic flops and viral PR misfires. For now, the spotlight hovers, the audience refreshes, and every new headline could crown her comeback, or hammer the final nail in a glittering coffin carved by a poisoned apple. Stay tuned. In Tinseltown, the reel never truly stops spinning.